This lecture on rescue devices is brought to you by ASTC Pensacola, supporting the social distancing of the corona pandemic 2020. Our terminal objective, verbatim, is describe the equipment and procedures used when being recovered by a search and rescue SAR helicopter and perform assisted and unassisted helicopter rescue procedures. Our enabling objectives is basically state the precautions or be aware of the precautions that are incorporated with being rescued by a helicopter in an assisted or unassisted rescue. We're going to go over all the rescue devices that you would probably encounter, whether or not being assisted or unassisted during your rescue. And then we're also going to state the rescue device specific procedures to be completed during a helicopter assisted rescue. Other objectives are to be familiar with the rescue hooks and how they connect to the D-ring or the V-ring, depending on if you are aircrew or a pilot or NFO, and perform the procedures for unassisted rescue using an alternate method, which is like the rescue basket seat or the rescue strap, etc. And we'll go over all those throughout the lecture. Also, we have a video to show you. This will help with the visual aid of learning about kind of what we're going to go over throughout this lecture. It's about a 10-minute video, so pay attention to it. It's important because you unfortunately may have to use this information to save your own life.
These air crewmen have just survived an aircraft mishap at sea. They may have had to bail out, or their aircraft may have ditched. Each of them is responding appropriately, falling back on the training they have received. They are preparing for rescue. The training you receive today will prepare you for rescue should you ever find yourself in this type of situation. We will be discussing several rescue devices, as well as assisted and unassisted rescues. First of all, let's consider that you are in the water following some type of aircraft mishap. Your first priority is flotation. If you are using the LPU series life preserver, pull the beaded handles down and away from your body. If you are using the passenger type life preserver, pull the CO2 toggle straight down. If the life preserver does not manually inflate, try again. If, after several attempts, the life preserver still does not inflate, don't panic. The life preserver can be inflated orally. Locate the oral inflation tube. Remove it from the stowage pocket and unscrew the knurled locking ring by turning it clockwise. The top of the tube is spring-loaded. Depress it against your teeth and exhale half of a breath into the bladder. Allow the valve to return to the extended position between breaths to prevent air from escaping. Continue this until the bladder is full. If you are using an LPU, press the waist lobe against your body to force air into the collar lobe. Once the upper and lower lobes are full, screw the knurled locking ring counterclockwise and restow the tubes. After establishing personal flotation, locate, retrieve, and board the life raft if available. Communicating with the rescue craft will aid in pinpointing your location. However, in some instances you may not have communication devices available. Therefore, you need to make yourself as visible as possible for the rescue craft. If you have no flares, extend your hands out to your sides. Scoop water with your hands and splash it over your head. A SAR swimmer will normally be deployed by a Navy SAR helicopter. Follow the swimmer's instructions. That person is responsible for the hoisting operation. Inform the rescue swimmer of your condition and the condition of other survivors. The rescue swimmer will then decide who to take first. If a helicopter approaches and begins to lower a rescue device, you may assume that a swimmer will not be deployed. In this instance, go ahead and prepare yourself for a pickup. If you are in a raft, roll out on the CO2 bottle side. Disconnect the life raft retaining lanyard but continue to hold on to the raft or raft lanyard until the rescue device is in the water and close to you. The most common device lowered by the helicopter is the rescue hook with rescue strap attached, or rescue strap alone. The rescue hook and strap can be used for helicopter rescue of personnel over land or water. The strap is designed to accommodate only one person at a time. Allow both the hook and strap to contact the water before you touch them to avoid electrical shock. Face the strap. Don't turn your back to it or allow the helo rotor wash to push you around. Make progress towards the strap if possible. Grasp the strap and pull the hook to you. Hook the large hook to either the gated D-ring on your integrated torso harness or the V-ring on your SV2 vest. Aircrew or passengers wearing the passenger-type life preserver should grasp the free end of the strap and rotate in a small circle, causing the strap to encircle the body. Face the hook and attach the free end of the strap to the large hook and work the strap high on the back beneath the armpits. Grasp the pull tabs of the retainer straps and pull them free. Attach the quick ejector snap on the long strap to the V-ring of the short strap and pull the retainer straps tight across the chest. Check to make sure your legs and body are clear of the cable. Turn your head to the left and look down to prevent the cable or hook from striking you when tension is applied. Give the hoist operator the thumbs up sign and wrap your arms around the strap. After clearing the water, cross your legs at the ankles or keep your legs together and straight. Do not attempt to assist the hoist operator when you reach the helicopter door. Remain in the hoisting position and follow the instructions of the hoist operator. The helicopter may lower a forest penetrator to you rather than the rescue strap. It is designed to rescue personnel from both land and sea. A flotation collar is attached to the penetrator for water rescues. With flotation collar attached, the penetrator top will float 6 inches above the surface of the water. As with the rescue hook and strap, do not touch the penetrator until it has entered the water. Then, disconnect your waist lobes and grasp the penetrator. Lower only one seat. Sit on the seat facing the flotation collar. Grasp the free end of the safety strap and pass it around your body under the armpits. Next, attach the strap to the safety strap connection assembly and pull it tight. Ensure the cable is not entangled in your legs or body. Give the hoist operator the thumbs up signal. Hug the penetrator with your arms. Normal procedure is to hoist one person at a time. However, depending upon circumstances, more than one person may be hoisted. Remember to turn your head to the left and down. When you reach the cabin door, do not attempt to help the hoist operator. There are other rescue devices which you may also encounter. The first of these is the rescue net. This cone-shaped net is generally used to hoist survivors who are unfamiliar with other rescue devices. Once the net is in the water, turn it so the open side faces you. Then, simply climb in. Turn your face outward and place your back against the net. Make sure all your extremities are inside the net and give the thumbs up signal. The hoist operator will then begin hoisting the net. The Coast Guard rescue basket is the simplest of all rescue devices. Once it is lowered into the water, climb in and hold on to the sidebars. Keep all extremities inside the basket. After you give the thumbs up signal, the hoist operator will hoist the basket. Today you have learned the techniques and devices used to rescue survivors of aircraft mishaps from the water by a helicopter. You will have the opportunity to practice what you have learned in the safety of a supervised atmosphere. Take your training seriously. One day you may have to fall back on this or other training in order to save your life.
Alright, for our lesson overview, after that great, awesome video, We're going to definitely touch on everything that they talked about in the video and add some more. We're going to go over a little bit more about surface rescues, about the aviation rescue swimmer and how that makes that an assisted rescue. We're going to go over the unassisted rescue. We're going to go over the things that will be used during an unassisted rescue, which is basically self-rescue, and how to attach it to your gated D-ring. We're going to talk about the rescue strap, the rescue net, the rescue basket, the forest penetrator, and the rescue seat. So our surface rescues. As you can see in the picture on the left, that's a forecastle rescue, or a naval vessel has pulled alongside someone, usually approaching on the windward side, blocking the wind and most of the wave chop, making it as easy as possible for a swimmer to be lowered down, a surface rescue swimmer to be lowered down via a J. Davitt crane, which you see in this picture, but there are other cranes ships may use. They'll lower them down, they'll attach you to the device, and then just haul you up on the side. Nowadays, you probably won't see this because naval ships, they're not going to be able to see the victim that they're rescuing or coming alongside because of the position of the pilot house and the bow, how that's all formatted. So most COs will not authorize the use of a naval war vessel surface rescue. Usually they'll, as you see in the lower right-hand picture, they'll lower a rib boat or some form of small vessel to go and rescue you in a more safer method. So the rib boat will come out, they'll lower it down, they'll go get you. They'll look like they're coming right at you, but don't worry, they're just already adjusting for the fact that you will drift with the current. So they will come alongside, pull you into the rib boat, and then bring you back to the ship, and then they'll just crane the whole rib boat back up, and you will disembark at that point. In the upper right-hand corner, that's probably a cruise ship or some form of civilian vessel, maybe even a USNS ship, or just somebody that's not familiar with what we expect. So they're going to drop down maybe an embankment net, which basically is a fishing net with weights at the bottom to allow stability. You'll just climb up it like a ladder. Basically, if you see that you're being rescued by somebody who's unfamiliar with our procedures, just kind of go and adapt with whatever they lower down. Maybe even, hopefully it's not just like some rope, but it may be a rope ladder or embankment ladder, etc. All right, for the assisted rescues, this basically means that a rescue swimmer enters the water and assists the victim. So a swimmer will be in the water. This is the person that's going to take charge of the situation. At this time, they may give you commands that sound uncomfortable, that don't make sense, but they train to this all the time. So you're not to argue. Just go with whatever the rescue swimmer says. Answer their questions as precise and concise as possible. And then also be aware that if you are an ejection seat survivor, you will be placed on a SAR litter. And that's going to be uncomfortable. We'll go over that. Now that you can see what a rescue litter looks like, basically they're going to strap you to this rescue litter in the water. Obviously you will be uncomfortable because you will not be able to feel like you can swim for yourself or control your own buoyancy. They have 40 pounds of buoyancy. They are very buoyant, but they're going to keep you upright. You'll be basically bobbing in and out of the water, and it will be uncomfortable in a rough sea state, or most sea states in general. So at this time, if you are getting a lot of water, or you're not able to keep your mouth and nose above water as often as you'd like, let the swimmer know, and maybe they can increase tension on the hoist line, and that would keep your head out of the water a little bit while they finish strapping you in. All right, now that we've gone over the assisted rescues, there's the methods of unassisted rescue that we have to go over, which basically entail the procedures of each of these rescue devices. As you can see on this slide, this is the rescue strap. It is generally assumed that you'll wrap this strap around you and connect it back to the hook that it came down on, and then you'll just be hoisted up with that thing under your armpits. But that is not how we're going to train to use it. Basically, the strap is just an identifier and keeps the hook, the rescue hook itself, buoyant enough for you to grab on the surface, and if you need to, you can use the strap to pull yourself to the hook. When you get to that rescue hook, you're going to unlock it, make sure that the gate opens up, and then you're going to connect that rescue hook directly to your gated D-ring or gated V-ring, whatever your harness or gear allows. And then you're going to go ahead and do a cable sweep, which is super important. We'll talk about this in the next slide after we go over the rescue hook. This is the slide lock rescue hook. This is the new one. They just phased out an old rescue hook that did not have a locking mechanism and had two hooks. That one was spring loaded, and there were a few injuries that basically caused the Navy to move forward to a new single gate rescue hook with a lock. As you can see here on the slide, the locked position, the little switch is upwards, and on the unlocked position, it is down, allowing the gate to swing back and forth. So some precautions that you need to be aware of. Helicopters generate a lot of static electricity. So if you are the person to grab that hook before it hits the water and it has to discharge its static electricity, you're going to connect that or complete that circuit. If you complete that circuit, you probably won't die, but you'll get a nice jolt of electricity, and you've already kind of been through enough at this point, so why risk more injury? So let the rescue device hit the water, ground out, and then when you attach yourself to it and you get your gated D-ring on that rescue hook, you're going to do a cable sweep, which basically means sweeping above and below your body to make sure that there's no excess cable wrapped around your person. And then when you give a thumbs up, you're going to make sure you put a thumbs up way out to the side, not directly above you. Don't reach up towards the swimmer and give them a thumbs up, because they won't be able to differentiate what they're looking at based on the fact that there's rotor wash and a lot of things that are disorienting the view. So put a thumbs up way out to the side, and then they'll start hoisting you up. When you do get hoisted up, you're not going to do anything to help the rescue operations. You're basically just going to, be at ease, cross your legs so no excess cable goes between your legs, and then you're just going to go up. When you get to the cabin door, they'll usually face you outboard, grab your harness, pull you in, and let excess slack out. That way they just sit you down on the edge and lay you back and then disconnect you. So try not to put your feet back and try to catch the ledge and try to help out, because you'll roll your ankle that way or cause further injury. This is the rescue net. The U.S. Navy has phased this out with the Coast Guard rescue basket, but be aware that most things that the U.S. Navy or any military branch in the U.S. does not use anymore, we usually sell surplus to allies or civilian entities that may perform rescue operations. So in the event that you do see a rescue net, just simple enough, it's going to float on its closed end, and then you're going to climb in the open end that's faced up towards the surface, and then just sit back all the way, give a thumbs up out to the side as much as possible, and then they'll hoist you up. As you can see, it probably doesn't look like the safest thing if you're swinging around in the wind. That's why they phased it out. This is the collapsible rescue basket, the U.S. Coast Guard rescue basket, as the Coast Guard calls it. Basically, this is the safest method for people that are unfamiliar with rescuing procedures or self-rescue procedures. So this would make sense to lower down to most people that aren't aware. So aircrew passengers, civilians, anyone they deem pretty much probably unaware of what to do. Simple procedure, you're just going to grab those top arms, put your feet in first, then climb the rest of the way in. Once you're all the way in, arms and legs inside the basket, you're going to give a thumbs up out to the side. You do not have to do a cable sweep above or below, because you have those buoy floats holding you up and upright so they could see the excess cable. When you stick your thumb out the side, they're going to start hoisting you up. Once you feel like you are starting to go up, put your arms and legs all the way back in the basket, so when you reach the cabin door, you do not further injure yourself or get a fracture, stress fracture, basically on the side of the helicopter. Here's the forest penetrator and the rescue seats. Usually the forest penetrator is used for what exactly it sounds like, penetrating a dense canopy in a forest or dense shrub area where you have to rescue someone below that and can probably barely see them anyway. The reason why it has 3 seats is maybe to allow for a tactical quick rescue, but if it's not under a tactical timeline or there isn't something pressing the situation, they'll only hoist up one person at a time. So one person's going to sit on that seat facing towards the middle, and then they're going to wrap the excess or the strap line around them and connect it to the D-ring around them, and then they're just going to hug the middle and get hoisted up. The rescue seat works the same way. It's only a 2-seater, and basically if it's not a stressed timeline, you're just going to rescue one person at a time. You'll just hug that big orange block that keeps it buoyant. You'll take that yellow line out of there, and then you'll wrap it around yourself and be hoisted up. Just give a nice thumbs up out to the side. I would do a cable sweep for this device because it's probably not going to be buoyant enough to stay out of the water the whole time, so just make sure there's no excess cable wrapped around you. Alright, our summary and review. So we went over the surface rescues. We went over the aviation rescue swimmer, which makes it an assisted rescue. And then we went over the unassisted rescue methods, which is the rescue strop, the rescue net, the rescue basket, the force penetrator, the rescue seat, and the rescue litter, and how uncomfortable that will be. So, if you have any questions, feel free to contact us at 850-452-2688 for follow-on questions. Thank you very much.